What's up guys, this is Shantan and welcome to another episode of the iherng podcast, and today we will answer a question from Instagram. This is from Han Han. Hi Sean, good afternoon. A relatively new follower here. A friend introduced your channel to me and I felt I really gained a lot of good insights from you. And I had a question here. Buying a property with shop lots or without shop lots below would be better. Tried searching through your videos but haven't come across one related to this. Mind to shed some light on this? Once again, thanks for doing this. So, a rather short one, right? And just for context, for those who don't understand, I assume that this question is regarding the apartments that we have in the city, and it's generally divided into mixed development where you have a commercial at the bottom and you have residential on top. Another type would be full residential, where it means that there's no commercial activities whatsoever. So the main difference between these two would be number one, privacy. Because there's commercial settings, right? Indirectly, it's meant for outsiders to come in as well. So we have seen certain projects where I mentioned a lot, when you buy mixed development, it's very important that the circulation between the commercial and the residential needs to be separated. Because just in case the commercial area is doing so well, right? As a resident, I want to go back home, it will be a hassle. Then what for I pay so much money? But for a full residential property, there will be none of these activities in the building itself. Then the second difference would be in terms of convenience. Of course, if I'm a resident, like I've shared this in the channel before, I prefer convenience. I put convenience at a very high priority in my life. Therefore, I would always choose a mixed development, because isn't it just cool to live above a grocer? I need anything at all, right? Suddenly I need a cornflakes, or I need peanut butter, or I need fruits, right? Just go downstairs without even taking the car. I can walk to the grocer. Meanwhile, grab some char kway teow, grab some coffee, get a haircut, take some pictures, then I walk back up. Settle. But on the other side, for the full residential one, every time you need something, you need to drive out, unless there's commercial areas within walking distance next to your apartment, and then it's different. Then the third thing, in terms of investment portion, right, rental tend to perform better with mixed development compared to the residential one, because convenience. The difference in convenience is there, and people pay a lot more money for convenience, especially for TODs as well. So a little bit about TOD, it stands for Transit Oriented Development. So back then, office were built individually, houses was built individually, commercial lots were built individually. So some new phenomenon suddenly took off, where they start joining different components in the same building, where you have office towers, you have residential, you have commercial, you have retail, you have hotel, sometimes even convention center, sometimes even exhibition halls and things like that. Then it becomes a mixed development kind of thing. And now when people starts running transportation lines into the development, it becomes a TOD. It means walking distance fully covered, I get to access the MRT, LRT or KTM or monorail or whatsoever. So that will create a big difference in terms of the convenience aspect of the project. And again, rental is driven heavily by convenience. So that will be the three main considerations if you were to choose between a property that is full residential or a mixed development. But I think to take note also would be the massing. What I mean is, in terms of architecture wise, right, sometimes physically the residential building and the commercial lots are separated. If you look into Akasa today, right, the building and the shop lots in front are separated. But if you look into Tropicana Gardens today, you see the retail mall is actually directly connected to all four towers, including the office as well. Well, they have the MRT also, so which is very nice. Then if you are familiar with Bukit Jalil, so the difference between Twin Arcs and Link 2. Link 2, you have these shop lots in front where they have a lot of F&B outlets, and the building is actually located behind, but it's still connected via a mall, versus Twin Arcs where the shop lots are just maybe 6 units to 8 units built into that residential tower. And this next portion of things will be a little bit more technical, but just bear with me, right? Because if you are working in the development firm today, every project that we submit to the board, right, for development, it needs to fulfill this required profit margin, this required revenue, this required sellability that we need to achieve in order to sell, because we need to show that we are confident that this kind of product will be sellable if we will choose to launch. And let's say for a full residential, right, there's only going to be one product, which is that resident unit, right? But if it's a mixed development, a lot of margin are actually placed into the retail portion, because retail easily I can sell 1,200 to 1,500, maybe 2,000 per square feet. So that small lot of 1,000 square feet, right, can make a lot of money in terms of feasibility study whenever I present this paper to the board. And that will take a lot of the margin weight away from the resident unit. That's why you can see a lot of service apartments, right? Yes, there will be 6 to 8 lots of shop lots within the building itself, and they say that it's going to be convenient and things like that. Most of them are empty, unfortunately, because if you are operating a coffee shop today, if you're operating a Japanese restaurant today, right, if your building is not next to a main road or next to a popular location, right, it wouldn't make sense at all to operate within a residential building. What's the point of going through all the checkpoints, right? So inconvenient to come and access a restaurant. Why don't I just stop at the commercial area and just park, go in, right? Most of the shop lots within a service apartment, right, it's not that ideal one unless they are fully operated by the developer, and that makes a big difference as well. So if you were to buy a project that has commercial lots in the front, right, and if the entire thing is held by the developer, for example the 163 mall in Mont Kiara, imagine you staying up there. The demand for space will always be there because the mall is just very successful, and the main reason for that success is because the entire program is curated by one party, one owner, which is the developer. Imagine if the retail lots are all sold individually, everybody will have their own desperate and their own difference in holding power. Some, you know what, I cannot pay installment every month blindly anymore, I'll just rent out to whoever that wants. So you have those handphone shop, you have those mama, those dobi, those barber shop that comes up first, and the entire program of the retail area suddenly won't make sense because they are actually signed to attract people to walk in a mall or a commercial area. So if you choose to purchase a full residential project, it's fine, it's going to be very quiet and all, and genuinely these are for own stay purposes. And most of the time bigger units tend to perform better in this kind of project where at least you need 3 bedrooms for a family, right? You need 3 bedrooms for a project like this to work. But if you're going for a commercial one, you're going for a mixed development again, the units tend to be a bit smaller because it's for a different purpose. It's for short-term stay, maybe 3 to 5 years, where a person is just working surrounding, then 3 to 5 years later he changed job and he moved on already. Therefore the selling price in the future will be strongly determined by the rental returns of that project. And I think that's all for this question. Thank you very much for asking. For those who still have any questions, do email me at taniherng@gmail.com, or you can just DM me on Instagram, iherng, and I'll see you on the next one. Ciao!